everybody, this is Reapy Ron, and today we're going to be playing some more Killing Floor 2. Today we are going to be trying out one of the new weapons. This is going to be the Glock 18c for the gunslinger. We're going to be trying out the just a single one variant and a dual variant. Apparently, according to, well, a lot of people that have played this game and have tried this weapon, it is overpowered. So it might get nerfed in the future, it might not, who knows. We got a gun, I believe. Yep, we've got one. Okay.
No one heard
It's
of
got very narrow sights.
And the Bostonator takes round one.
Okay, it holds 33 shots. Oh, okay, so I can... Alright, so it's either got single fire or it's got full auto mode.
Happiness is...
And it's got that suppressor on it. And it holds a ridiculous amount of shots. Alright, so let's see how much this costs to refill. Alright, well, just one Glock 18c weighs 4 pounds, which is pretty heavy. And it can only be upgraded once, so it's a tier 4 weapon. See, it can hold a lot of shots, though. And to fill it completely is not that much. Huh. Alright.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, let's continue with it, see how well this does. I have it set to full auto right now, which I don't know how I feel about its full auto capabilities because
Look alive, just paying us a visit.
That seems kind of ridiculous for a full auto gun, especially for gunslinger of all people. This feels more like how SWAT submachine guns feel. But it's for demo, or it's not for demo, it's for gunslinger.
Frosty's on a rampage!
I didn't expect you to make it through that wave.
Even on full auto, it's not that hard to just kind of tap and only fire 1 or 2 shots. I also feel like this... I feel like rack 'em up is what is going to really make this overpowered. Oh, it does have a bit of a different melee bash. It has like the same melee bash that the MAG-10 has. Interesting. Ah, Heinz.
What? You are
Let's fight Mr. Hans.
I shall cause you pain.
Alright, Mr. Hans. I'm gonna try shooting you with just one pistol.
I scared you. Don't hide.
Come out, wherever you
How
are!
then will you cope this guy?
Frosty got your attention.
Oh, for anybody wondering, this is just set to suicidal for endless. So this isn't really an accurate representation of 6-man hell on Earth or anything.
Grenade!
Alright, I'm gonna just try fighting him with the semi-auto.
That is but a scratch.
I've been shot!
I grow tired of this game. Time to try the next phase on you scum.
Hello there.
Alright, that's switched to full auto.
Fools!
Down there you go.
Just
Okay.
the easy part. See what I have for you.
Alright.
Like that,
Alright, well I noticed that hip firing with this
I'm getting shot!
does make it a bit harder to control, but ADSing's not that bad.
You're not.
Alright, let's add in 2 other guns then. Alright, give me the weapon.
Perfect weather, if you're Jack the Ripper.
Alright, now we've got 2. Let's see. Okay, so they're always full auto if you have 2 of them. They are either full auto or semi-auto if you have 1. That's a bit unique. So far, when I've used it in semi-auto, it's felt like a more powerful, even less recoil, like, medic pistol, with actually, like, decent damage for hitting headshots and stuff. Plus, it has a huge magazine. So, I mean, it does weigh more. It obviously will cost more if you do that. But right now, this gun is looking pretty good. Especially because I imagine this gun is extremely strong with the rack 'em up perk. I feel like that's probably the main reason why this is overpowered, because being able to hit multiple headshots extremely fast and turn your rack 'em up from 0 to 5 instantly is pretty strong.
Not dead yet. I'll sort that.
Okay.
Sort off.
Again, shooting from the hip.
It's here!
It's a little bit hard to control the recoil. That being said, when you got that many shots, doesn't really matter.
Now sawed off! Nasty looking scrape, folks!
This does feel like it has probably the most recoil of any of the pistols. Besides like maybe the 500s, but you don't shoot them fast enough to really care that much about the recoil.
That's nice.
And maybe the deagles.
Didn't like that, did you?
But I mean, just being able to spray just a couple shots at a time to kill everything in your pad is kind of nice. This thing shoots really fast in Z time.
You got
And at level 25, if you get Whirlwind of Lead,
you're just dragging this
where you have
out.
infinite bullets during Z time, I think these guns are actually going to be even stronger. I didn't think about that. I was thinking about just how strong they'd be
It's just me,
normally.
It was hard to see much.
But yeah, I can see them being even stronger in 6-man with a commando that could extend Z time, because then you just hold down the triggers. Doesn't matter if you're hitting nothing. You're going to be doing a ton of damage, so it's essentially just going to be like a Firebug's ability or SWAT's ability for Z time. Yeah, because I can imagine just this, but with infinite shots, that's pretty strong. That's also what makes the grenade pistol a pretty decent option on Gunslinger 2. It's just that perk alone.
Time for some worky work.
Alright, Fleshbound, bring it on. Oops. Yeah, I kind of went out of
Left pound!
my accuracy zone there. Alright, so fully upgraded, these weigh 10 pounds. Or they have a weight of 10, I should say. So that leaves you with 5 potential weight that you could use. Alright, so you could go with a single 500, you could go with a single deagle, you could go with 2 1911s, you could of course go with medic pistol.
Clean it up!
You could also just not upgrade these, because
Down they go!
it doesn't really seem like it's necessary to upgrade these. They seem perfectly fine even without the upgrade.
Not dead yet. I'll sort that.
So that's interesting. I have noticed that if you completely empty these though and then go to reload, the reload is substantially longer than if you only
Please, sir, can I...
reload them while they're not completely empty. You could actually go with dual deagles too at this. That might not be a bad combination, since the deagle does have quite a bit more punch than this. And then get yourself a medic pistol. You could just go with a medic pistol, upgrade it. You could go with a grenade pistol if you wanted something to deal with small stuff, and then a heavy hitter. This combination might actually be the best
Wave 10.
for the grenade pistol if you're going to use that with Gunslinger. Oh, we got the Abomination. Because before, pretty much the best way of using it was the 2011s.
Didn't like that, did you?
So the 2011s also had some issues. They're still really good. But I feel like these kind of do their job a little bit better. I mean, the main reason why everybody liked
I'll sort
the...
that. Damn it!
Well, why everybody still loves the
Load, you bastard, load!
A2011s is that they're really good at getting the rack 'em up skill up.
Nice. You know me now, don't you?
Yeah, this reload is kind of long on it. I feel like that's going to be not as much an issue as you level up when you get the faster reload speed at level 15.
Mostly got your attention, eh?
And once you get the recoil reduction as you level up too, I feel like this thing's probably just going to be a laser.
Clean it off!
I mean, at level 0,
Ammo's getting low!
at level 0 with the Gunslinger, these don't feel overpowered. They feel very strong, but they don't feel overpowered.
Think of this lot as overtime.
Although that's a kind of a weird scale to grade them on, is that
Picking them off.
yes, they're not overpowered if you're just, you know, under leveled and playing on a somewhat difficult difficulty.
Kindly die.
Then they're not that strong, but I can easily see these being extremely strong on Hell on Earth if you're level 25. Maxed out, you're running, you know, you're running the usual gunslinger thing. You're running quick draw, rack 'em up, speed loader, skullcracker, and whirlwind of lead. I think whirlwind of lead in this case is definitely better than fanfire. Fanfire is better for the slower shooting guns like the 500s, mostly the 500s. Deagles can also use it fairly well too, but yeah, with this combined with just how Gunslinger works,
Fingers stuck in it.
I think is what people are saying is so overpowered, and I can definitely see that. Alright, so I think I've used these weapons enough to kind of get a feel for them, so I'm going to tell you guys the stats of these. We're going to play a little bit longer, probably going to play one more round, and then I'll hop out and give my final thoughts of them. So the base damage of the G18s is 39 damage with 600 rounds. I think it's 600. The rate of fire is 800 rounds a minute. Unless you're shooting it in semi-auto, then it's around 300. That being said, 300 is still pretty high for a semi-auto rate of fire. It's not as high as certain weapons can get, but it's certainly high enough. And 800 rounds per minute in full auto is still pretty high. That's submachine gun levels and certain assault rifle levels of rate of fire. When you have two of them, though, the rate of fire goes up to 1,200 rounds per minute because both of them are full auto, which I believe is among the highest of any weapon. I think that ties with the Vector, which makes this feel very much like they just wanted to give the Gunslinger the Vector. Alright, so now that we've tried out the dual Glock 18Cs and the regular Glock 18C, I'm going to give my opinion on them. A lot of people have said this weapon is overpowered, and I can see why, because it kind of is on Gunslinger. I don't think I experienced it as much, but that's because I was level 0. I believe it's going to be much more impactful as you level up. Because at level 5, neither steady nor quick draw really give you a huge advantage in terms of gun-wise. They're mostly used for just utility purposes. Rack 'em up is going to give you a considerable amount of damage, though, because with a extremely high rate of fire, a high magazine capacity, and very little spread on the guns, as well as the more you level up Gunslinger, the more recoil reduction you get, it's going to be very easy to hit consecutive headshots, even if you don't mean to. Even if you're not that good of a shot, and you're considering taking Bonebreaker, I would say take Rack 'em up every single time if you're going to use these weapons. Even if you're not confident in your skills, even if you're not that great at hitting headshots, Rack 'em up is probably still going to give you more damage, even if you're not intentionally trying to hit things in the head. Which you kind of should be with Gunslinger, but I understand. Once you're a new player coming to the game, it can be kind of difficult to reliably hit headshots, so you might take perks that, you know, kind of give more utility purposes rather than maximize damage. Anyway, that's a different story. Speed Loader is just going to help you reload faster. You're always going to take that with Gunslinger because it's just good. Skullcracker also, I think, makes these weapons ridiculous because, again, hitting multiple headshots, even if you're not trying to hit headshots, high magazine capacity, high rate of fire, fast movement speed, if you hit things in the head with Gunslinger, you can outrun them. Assuming you're running Skullcracker and you're reasonably high leveled. Nothing can catch you then, assuming you don't get caught on random stuff in the map. That's going to be even more ridiculous with a high rate of fire gun. And then like at 25, I believe that Whirlwind of Lead is a far better skill than Fanfire with the G18s. They already shoot fast enough to be perfectly viable during Z time. They're not a slow shooting gun like the 1858s or even the 500s. They still have a really high rate of fire, and I don't think you need 3 times the rate of fire put on it. You don't need 3,600 rounds per minute out of your pistols unless you just want to go crazy with them at close range, which admittedly might be extremely fun. I don't know, I haven't tried it. I feel like Whirlwind of Lead is going to be the better option, though. I can see why this would definitely be a defining weapon in Gunslinger meta. I can see why it would be probably the top pick, besides maybe the 500s, but even then, that's kind of debatable, because 500s, you can't argue that Deagles out-damage them, they out-DPS them, they are lower cost to get, so even then there was that debate of picking them over Deagles, or picking the Deagles over them. And I feel like that this is going to be a similar place that this is going to go, where there's going to be a debate of, are you going to take the G18s that are just so reliably good, or are you going to take the more powerhouse weapons like the Deagles and the 500s because you feel very confident in your skills to hit reliable headshots? I feel like you can still potentially do more at an extremely high skill level with the Deagles or with the 500s, but I feel like at a basic or intermediate or even a high level skilled gunslinger, they're going to have much more success with the G18Cs. I feel like they're much more forgiving. They're much better against most of the Zeds. Even if, and they're also going to be a easier class to switch. It's going to be an easier class for commando mains and for SWAT mains to switch over to play Gunslinger, because they can just pick this up and pretty much use it like any of their standard weapons. SWAT especially, because it's going to be just, oh, okay, now I have another vector. This one just holds more shots, and now I do even more damage with it, which is even more ridiculous. With any other class, I don't think, well, with any other class, except with the exception of, I believe, Sharpshooter, I don't think that the dual Glock 18Cs would be overpowered. Sharpshooter's a different story because you get all the bonus headshot damage, and you could potentially just crouch and spray everything to death. So that's why I'm not saying that one. But I think every other class, this weapon wouldn't be overpowered. I think it would be strong, and I think it'd be a good choice for them, but I don't think it would be overpowered. But with Gunslinger, I can see why so many people are saying it's overpowered, because it kind of is, but that's mostly because Gunslinger is overpowered. I don't know if they're going to be nerfed. I imagine they will be, because they feel kind of strong, but I'm not sure exactly how they're going to be nerfed. I'm not sure if they're going to be nerfed with lower magazine capacity, lower rate of fire, maybe lower damage. Any one of those could also be problematic, because if you lower its rate of fire to where it's just not as good as other guns, it's not as good as the Deagles, nobody's going to pick it. If you lower the rate of fire slightly, I still think it's going to be stronger than most weapons and be much more user-friendly. If you lower the damage, I don't know how much you'd have to lower the damage to make it feel not overpowered, is the thing, because I feel like it's going to be overpowered with the Rack 'em Up. And with the Skullcracker, it's going to be much more consistent to hit Skullcracker shots to slow enemies down. And if you lower the magazine capacity, I could see that also working. If you cut the magazine capacity like in half, that might be dramatic. That might be a bit too much, actually. But maybe if you made it 20 rounds in each clip, 40 rounds altogether, it'd be much more of a bursty gun rather than a sustained fire gun. So those are just my thoughts with it. You could honestly pick any other weapon with this if you're looking for builds, because pretty much all you need is this. That takes up your 8 pounds or 10 pounds if you want to upgrade it. Get yourself a medic pistol, and then whatever else you want. You can go dual Deagles, not upgrade them, or dual Deagles and upgrade them, not upgrade the 18s. Go with the single 500, upgrade that. You can go with a grenade pistol, upgrade that for a more heavy-hitting one. I don't really see a reason for you to take the 2011s, though. I mean, I guess it would just be one, because you couldn't... Well, no, you could carry two, I think. No, they weigh 8 together. Never mind. You can carry one, but I don't really see the point of carrying one, because the 18s just do the same job. So I feel like you'd probably either go medic pistol, Deagles, 500, or grenade pistol, or medic pistol with any one of those. And that would be a perfectly fine loadout. So this has been my thoughts on the dual Glock 18Cs in Killing Floor 2. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are of the dual Glock 18Cs. Tell me if you feel like they're overpowered, what you would do to change them. Just leave that down in the comments down below. I don't know what else to say about this. Everybody said they were overpowered. I kind of agree, but thanks everybody for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys would like to see me live, I stream every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Head on over to my Twitch page. That way you get more information over there. And I will see all of you guys next time. Till then, stay cool, and bye!